Tears of the Kingdom is worse than Breath of the Wild, and by a lot. I'm gonna say this as calmly as I possibly can. If you believe this, get the fuck away from me! Let me be clear. Both of these games are peak. But Breath of the Wild is not way better than Tears of the Kingdom. And this is coming from someone who loves Breath of the Wild. I remember when Breath of the Wild came out and I was seeing review after review talking about how revolutionary it is and how it's the best game ever. And I'm gonna be honest, I was a hater. I thought people were just hyping it up like they do with everything else that's new. And then I played it for myself and was like, yo, this might be the best game I've ever played. And it's not like I was a Zelda fanboy. That was the first Zelda game I ever played. I loved that game so much and was so excited when Tears of the Kingdom came out that I went to the midnight release at the Nintendo store. So as someone who has such high regards for Breath of the Wild, I'm confused by this take. Because literally my first thought after playing Tears of the Kingdom was, this is everything I love about Breath of the Wild, but more. There's new enemies, there's new places to explore, there's new abilities, there's new ways to get around, there's new ways to fight. Literally the only limitation is your imagination. Nintendo took everything that people liked about Breath of the Wild and just doubled down on it. That's why there's two ways I look at it. If you didn't like Breath of the Wild, I can understand why you wouldn't enjoy Tears of the Kingdom. But if you did, I don't get why you'd think Breath of the Wild is superior. Both games follow the same format. You go to the different divine beasts/temples to get new abilities, and you go to different parts on the map to unlock the story. That's it. Even in those aspects, I prefer Tears of the Kingdom. All of the temples were sick, especially the boss fights. And when I really think about amazing moments, the one that always comes to mind is the sword pull in Tears. That's easily my favorite moment in either game. Probably the most common complaint I see about Tears is that it's DLC and that they reuse the same map and assets. As I said before, I'm fairly new to the franchise, and I know that every Zelda game usually has like some type of unique art style or feature, but realistically, what were you expecting from a direct sequel? Personally, I love that they use the same map. The first thing I did was go to my favorite places to see how they changed. Another point that I always see being brought up is that the Sky Islands and the depths are underwhelming. While I disagree about the Sky Islands, I can't argue that the depths didn't really have much to them. I guess the one thing I'll say is that the beauty of both of these games is that you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. If you don't like the depths, you can just leave and go somewhere else. I know I did. Even though they're not perfect and there was a lot of missed opportunity, I would rather have them than not. I don't want to spend too much more time talking about this because I could go on for a while, but I wanted to bring up this critique I saw of the building mechanics and the new abilities. I don't remember where I saw it, but somebody commented something along the lines of Tears of the Kingdom is Breath of the Wild with cheats enabled. This is so interesting to me because for years I've seen videos of people using bombs and stasis to break Breath of the Wild in the most unique and creative ways. All the new tools do is give people even more ways to do cool stuff. And again, you don't have to use them if you don't want to. Nobody is pointing a gun at you and forcing you to make a hover bike. What I'll say to end this mini rant is that while Tears of the Kingdom might be a bit more rough around the edges, there's nothing like the feeling of skydiving back to Hyrule after exploring the skies with a nice sunset in the background. God damn, I wish I could experience that for the first time. And I know a lot of people prefer Breath of the Wild for that same feeling. For them, nothing will top exploring Hyrule for the first time. But I think if you just look at what both games have to offer, Tears of the Kingdom is better.